my favorite quotes about the sport is by Greg Everett. He actually does all the programming, or most of the programming, for Catalyst Athletics. He said that, "I don't know why we do it. It's brutal, it's exhausting, there's no money, there's no recognition. You just have to love it, even if it doesn't love you back." Hi, my name is Frank Miele. I am 23 years old, from Manahawkin, New Jersey, and I am an Olympic-style weightlifter. Lifting when I was probably about 21. I learned the lifts through CrossFit, and I thought it was a great way to be in shape. I liked the way I looked and felt, so I continued doing that. I eventually just fell in love with the snatch and clean and jerk and the sport of weightlifting itself. The 3 attempts, the suspense of the lifting. I feel like I belong. In weightlifting, you want to practice the snatch and clean and jerk, the competition lifts, as much as you possibly can. So pretty much every training day, you're gonna do some type of snatch and clean and jerk, whether it's power variations or from the blocks. They're very, very technical lifts. They're not just about pure strength. Just practicing the skill itself takes up 80% of the training. You have to be explosive, coordinated, fast, precise. To me, it's like a work of art watching a good snatch or a good clean and jerk. There's such little margin for error that one little thing, if you don't do everything perfectly, you'll mess the lift up. You basically have to be as precise as a heart surgeon, but have the power of an offensive lineman coming off the line in a snap. That's what attracted me to the sport the most. I pretty much was training by myself, all alone, no coach, pretty much coaching myself, watching my videos play back. And one day I was listening to a podcast by John North. He's a national champion in the 94 kilo class from back in the day. He said, "If you're not signed up for a weightlifting meet right now, you're wasting your time. Get off this podcast." And literally right there, I paused the podcast and I signed up for the closest weightlifting meet that I could find. And it was called the Pocket Size Open. It was being held by Gaspar Hernandez III. So I lifted there. I went 6 for 6. I was pretty conservative in my lifts.
Get set. A lot of legs. Get it back there. Come on. Get him up. Oh, hold on. Tight. Down. Yeah, baby. Sit. There you go.
I just wanted to have a good experience, learn the ropes, learn how competitions work, learn how to count attempts and all that.
Very aggressive. Come on. Let's go! On the leg, get it back there, come on! There you go, hold it! Down!
And Gaspar kind of took me under his wing. He said, you know, you don't have a coach, but you can really do something in the sport if you're guided in the right direction.
Go. Tight, a lot of legs, get it back there, come on! There you go, you got it! Oh, we're going to Anaheim. Down!
Yeah, baby!
That was insane. It was my 4th competition ever. I mean, I qualified for it in my 3rd competition. It didn't really hit me until I was on the plane that I qualified for the American Open, which is like the second highest level of competition in the country.
Houndwood weightlifting team. He's a 23-year-old lifter. He's a senior lifter. And this is the first attempt. Let's welcome Frank to the platform.
I mean, all the top level lifters in the country were there, so you could see even some international lifters were there. It was an awesome experience.
Nice patience under the bar for Frank. 3 white lights for a good lift. No lift at 135. Loaders, let's tighten.
It didn't go as well as I had planned, simply because it was just a situation in the back room that in the future I definitely need to be acclimated to. All in all, it was just an awesome experience. I'll be ready for the next one now because I know what to expect. I'll be on the national stage again soon.
Yeah.
173 kilos, so that's 381 pounds.
Yeah, for easy.
It might have looked easy. It was a little rough, but I'm definitely happy with it. Coach said that I can clean 185 soon, which would be 407. I know I'll be comfortable cleaning 400 pounds now. So our next goal right now is Coach is having me hopefully compete at University Nationals. I have to sign up for an online course for that. He says I have a very good chance at medaling, possibly winning, and being selected for the world team for universities, which is a huge, huge deal for me. I would get the USA singlet with my name on it, and in my second year of competing, being on the United States team, I mean, it's just, I wouldn't be able to let that sink in for a long time. But I'm very excited. I'm going to give it my all, do everything that I can. I'll be honest, this sport is brutal. Like, you'll walk out of here done training after a couple hours and you feel like you literally just got hit by a car, and you got to let it sink into your head that you got to come back out here and do it again the next day. If you don't, you're not gonna survive.
Bulgarian 1980s team, I would die.
The bond that you build with those guys and girls who all do the same thing and have the same mindset that you do for the sport and the same love, it's just a mutual, unspoken respect for each other, and you're pretty much friends by default. We're very, very proud of doing this sport and representing it, even though it's not the most financially smart thing to do. You gotta love it. The sport in this country, for one, nobody knows about it. Two, it doesn't make any money. In the other countries, you can get a college education for being an okay weightlifter. We don't get to take the steroids and the drugs that the other countries do.
The event.
They don't have to work full jobs. They can just train at their training centers and have food, housing, everything paid for. Here, you have to work 40 hours a week to just survive, let alone have it fit in the time to train. I mean, I think everybody should try it at least once, no matter what you're doing. It's an awesome sport. It's not. I know it looks dangerous, but it's not. If you have somebody who knows what they're talking about, teaching you how to lift safely, it's really not. It's not as dangerous as everybody thinks it is. It doesn't matter how much weight's on the bar, you know? How you move the bar really defines you, how successful you're gonna be in the sport. The weight comes with just doing it every day. You know, I think it's just the love that I have for the sport, and I realize that this is my place in the universe. This is my spot in the world. Like, I belong. I am a weightlifter. Like, that's who I am. I found myself within this sport, and I want to stick it out as long as I can. And I want to be as good as I can. I don't want to look back and say that I just did it for fun, that I just did it because I thought it was cool. No, I want to be the best weightlifter that I could possibly be. And yeah, that's pretty much it.